Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy hump day to everybody out there. Nick Viall, host of Viall Files, addresses Charity's gripe with him. He leaves out some of the reasons why she was upset, but said her choices led to a more boring ending, which is not a gripe whatsoever. That's in respect to the fact that she ended up clearing out some of the toxicity in the Bachelor Mansion before getting to her finalists. But we're going to play what Charity's saying. It's not really related to Nick, but Nick addressing the fact that Charity doesn't like him, which is not rare. This is how it works. He says things that are controversial, and leads like Rachel Recchia or anyone who has scrutiny usually comes out looking they're not friends with him, to put it kindly. Will she end up going on his show? That's yet to be seen. We'll see how it all plays out. Do me a solid. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. I'll be live at the 10 a.m. hour this morning, and every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast, all your entertainment news in one place. And don't forget, we are supporting our teachers' wish list. You can go to the link below to go donate to these teachers. Mrs. Martinez in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, Kimberly in Riverdale, California, and Julia in Silver Spring, Maryland are our teachers. We've got fourth grade, kindergarten, K-5, English language learning to kids who come to the U.S. with no English. So many great opportunities for us to help them decorate their classroom with motivational supplies and arts supplies and all the little things. The items they need are right there, folks. So thank you in advance to everyone who's helping donate. So we covered Charity smacking down Nick Viall already. She said maybe it's time we stop getting dating advice from unqualified TV personalities who like bashing women for the sake of views. She also had other things to say. That's not the video. Her and her brother call out Nick, and Nick says she's a little more messy and more toxic than I anticipated, and Nick also called her an F-boy magnet. Well, now we're going to have Nick's response, which we're going to get to right here. I'm going to play his response right after playing what Charity had to say.
Was there anybody that you sat with tonight that you were like, ooh, maybe I didn't make the right decision? Maybe there's some feelings left.
No. No. I'm sorry. No. No, it's good to see everyone. Everyone seems to be doing good, taking care of themselves. They look great, but no, Charity Lawson's very happy, so.
Oh, Charity Lawson very happy?
She is. She's very happy. You'll find out.
How happy? Scale of 1 to 10.
It's off the scales.
Oh, you heard it here first. It's off the scales.
It is.
Okay, so does that mean that we are engaged?
I don't know.
If it's off the scale.
I mean, you could be happy. You never know. So, yeah, just finding happiness however that looks. But you'll find out soon.
Was there anybody?
So there she is. She says, Charity Lawson's happy. Whenever you speak in the third person, you mean business. Dave Neal will tell you you mean business when you speak in the third person. So anyway, we've got these clips we're going to share right here. But first, let's go to what Nick had to say regarding addressing that Charity has a gripe with him. Have a listen.
He likes our commentary, so to speak.
Oh, really?
Well, in the sense that I think she hasn't always played the role of therapist.
Right.
I think she's been at times quote unquote messy.
Yeah.
It was messy for her to give Brayden the first impression rose when her brother was literally he's not your guy.
I disagree that that's messy. But we always have this, right, where Nick will call someone an F-boy and we'll disagree technically. So was Charity messy that she was following her heart? I don't think so. It's not like Brayden was a true a-hole. He was just giddy and youthful. You know what I mean? So not messy in my book.
That's, to me, Charity leading with authenticity and her heart and kind of saying, this is my journey. I'm going to dive into my feelings.
Yeah.
And then I'll think about my choices after the fact, and maybe I'll get through these, the Xavier.
So this is Nick justifying calling her messy, which is funny. He's like, all right, well, it's time to get an interview with Charity. We're going to have to reach out to her. Charity's messy, but that's the authentic thing to be. I mean, it's authentic to be messy. I'm Nick Viall, and I'll tell you. So listen, guys. Content creating, it's a tough racket. You have to, on one hand, be truthful and share your opinion, and then on the other, try not to piss people off because he's got to get clicks for his podcast, and then he's also got to try to get Charity on his podcast. There's people like Rachel Recchia he's burned bridges with. He's got other beefs. I mean, there's a lot of battles. To be honest, it's no surprise that one of the number one or one of the top podcasts, which is Nick's, also has some of the most enemies. What does that tell you about society, right? If it bleeds, it leads.
Type of like storyline. But like at times she was willing to be messy and kind of go after guys that she was drawn to, which maybe Charity, the therapist, would have stepped in. Hey, Charity, kind of talking to herself. This might not look good, and you might get heat for this, but I think she was authentic and opened herself up for any type of criticism.
Yeah, I would have crumpled.
Which I really enjoyed.
So Nick then, shines this shit into it's because it's obviously revisionary history. Like, sure, he did quote unquote call her messy, but he also did a lot of other things in his conversations with her.
To get him to leave. And Brayden left on his own. He was like, you know what? I don't think this process is for me. He didn't wait for Charity to send him home. And I love how Charity pretended to the guys as if it was her decision.
Yeah.
At this point, it's fine. Charity, the opinions are fine. I don't think that's anything for Charity to get mad about. It's the mockery that's about to happen.
Being so completely rattled. It's like, I'm just so confident about this decision. I'm like, you are.
No, you're not
confident. You are just spiraling, Charity.
I would say, and again, if I could play therapist, Dave Neal here, I think Charity might be less upset if he didn't act out what Charity was going through, because maybe Charity was having a limbic system response. Maybe she was really having an anxious moment, and to call it out is fine. So, it seemed like she was anxious. It seemed like she was rattled in that moment. But that's where we get into the mockery, which is like, okay, I mean, she's already got all the cameras on her. She's trying her best. She's going to put a brave face. She's going to snap back at you on social media and all these things. But at the same time, let's give her a little credit. It's her first time in this lead role. So when Charity says maybe it's time we stop getting dating advice from unqualified TV personalities who like bashing women for the sake of views, I will say she is not wrong in the sense that Nick is bashing her right now. Whether it's for the sake of views or not, that's yet to be understood. And then at the 12:26 mark, right here, we have him calling her an F-boy magnet, which I also disagree with. I don't see Charity as an F-boy magnet. I mean, wouldn't every lead on the show be an F-boy magnet? I mean, there are going to be F-boys that are trying to date you. You're a magnet to everybody. Let's not isolate the F-boys. Maybe she's a man magnet. Bingo.
She's a fuckboy magnet.
I mean, she seems aware of it too. She's like, this is an old pattern.
Yeah. But Nick calls her an F-boy magnet. Yikes. You heard it there. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to Nick's original, the video we're covering today. But it's important just to be like, look, okay, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. You called her messy, sure. You also did these other things that, like, probably in solidarity with someone who was a lead, you could probably understand she was trying her best. I don't know. Again, we're crossing our I's and dotting our T's. I get it, folks. That this isn't like super egregious, but we could understand why Charity would be not wanting to F with a content creator who understands the position she's been in and is still mocking her. We can understand that. I mean, like if Nick was ever like, I can't believe she wouldn't do my podcast, I'd go, well, here's the evidence why.
Watching.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of intense emotions going on there, and I would not do well. So I had a lot of respect for her for like just being strong and just coping with all of that.
It's not an easy position to be in. Yeah.
Totally not easy at all.
But also like, and maybe her choices have led to a more boring ending because she has been able to weed out her bad actors sooner than later. Because it would have been better for the story for Xavier to go all the way to number 2. And
we agree with Nick here. And look, it's just more of an apologetic tone as we get down to interview season as it is. So yeah, he's saying, well, she did a good job of weeding them out. So on one end, she's attracting all the F-boys, and now we can compliment her for weeding them out.
Does she pick the cheater or does she pick the safer option?
Right.
Like now that Xavier's gone, I don't buy a Joey connection.
Right.
I don't see that. And if Xavier was still there, there would be this big storyline. Is Charity going to like go back to her like old habits of going back to someone who reminds her of an ex? Is she going to believe Xavier? Is she going to give him the benefit of the doubt? Or is she going to like choose a new path? And we had that last week.
Yeah.
But now, like, that was like the last remaining storyline. Yeah. And now, like, they're throwing, like, is she going to, like, send Aaron home? Or, of course we know she's going to send Aaron home.
they left us on a cliffhanger is so that
'Cause they have
for
nothing
the
else.
promo
Yeah.
for the finale, suddenly we're back up to 3.
What happened to the producer that I liked? How come she's gone?
And
Back up
that's
to
like
3.
I think it's just
But we're
pure-
not.
No, I
Yeah.
guarantee she sends Aaron home within the
Immediately.
first few minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
But it's going to have more people intrigued than if it was just the 2 of them.
Well, you can tell because
Yeah, I
on
mean-
all of the spoil, like the don't miss next week coming up. Aaron's only in the one outfit, like he's in this navy blue suit, and I was watching specifically. I was like, let's see if he's in more than one outfit. Then he sticks around for more than one occasion.
Yeah, no.
and he was in one.
They're
outfit.
going to
So I
open
was
up the
like,
episode. They're going to replay the drama that they ended with 2 weeks ago to her remind us.
Yeah.
And we'll have to watch the same fucking shit for like the first 5 minutes. And then Charity's going to pretend to act conflicted and she's going to say a bunch of nice things. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is she's going to sit him down and she's going to go, Aaron, again, I'm just so glad you showed up. And I have been thinking about you and you are a great guy and I really have been torn. However.
Yes.
All right, so look, Nick nails it. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And no harsh judgments from me on the way in which he conducts his content. He's telling you how he feels. But again, when you cast a large wake, don't get upset when people complain that you're rocking their boat, right? That's exactly what went down here. Will Charity do his podcast? Maybe. But it's kind of one of those things. You either do Nick's podcast or you do Caitlin Bristow's podcast. We already know Charity's been on Caitlin Bristow, so maybe she'll stick to that crowd. Either way, I don't really care at all. I'm going to cover it regardless. Let me know what you guys think. We'll be back with more content. And don't forget, I have a stand-up show tomorrow, Thursday, in Huntington Beach. Tickets are still on sale. Let's pack that room out. Link below, Huntington Beach, California. And next Thursday, Seattle. We'll see you all there.